Howdy.
Sometimes you've got to budget yourself, and that includes gaming. You can't always be getting your big name games. If funds are tight, your Doom Eternals and Animal Crossings are just out of your reach. So where can you go beyond that? What can satiate that ever-present gaming itch? Well, there's free games and mods, of course. And I've been an advocate of those ever since the first video I did on this channel, which was a review of a mod for the classic shooter Doom.
So with all that said, what actually is the best free shooter on Steam? Well, obviously it's Team Fortress 2. What, you thought I was going to say something else? Of course it's TF2.
9 classes to master, a boatload of weapons and tools to understand, many maps and modes to play, and a horde of wacky cosmetics to collect. It's an absolute blast, and an unsurpassed one at that. It's a game that I can always come back to. But let's put TF2 aside for a moment. What if you're in the mood for something different? It happens, we all put TF2 down at some point, whether that be for a short amount of time or for a few years.
And if you're willing to listen, then I'm here to offer you an entirely new experience.
Now, I'd say that Wild West shooters are a fairly neglected genre. Sure, they've always existed in one form or another. You've got on-rail shooters like Mad Dog McCree, Doom clones like the LucasArts Gem Outlaws, and cinematic open world games like the widely known Red Dead series.
So what if you wanted to play a free game on Steam that was set in the Wild West, but was also an online deathmatch? Allow me to introduce you to Fistful of Frags.
Fistful of Frags was always on my radar throughout its development, but it's only in recent years that I've really come to love it. It's actually a pretty regular staple of streams of my friends and myself now, for example. We're always excited when we get to break it out. So why is that? Why has Fistful of Frags managed to capture our hearts in such a way? That's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm going to try and cut to the core of what makes this game tick, and why we keep coming back to it.
But first, the nitty gritty. What is Fistful of Frags and where did it come from?
Keen-eyed PC gamers may recognise the gameplay right away as being on Half-Life 2's Source engine, and you'd be correct in that assumption. I've always found Source to be a really comfortable and iconic engine through my hours of playing all sorts of Valve games and mods in it, such as Gary's mod. It just feels like home to me, like a warm cup of soup on a cold rainy day. But I digress, because like Gary's mod tactfully states in its title, Fistful of Frags is also a mod, and a free downloadable one on Steam at that. But it didn't start there. The initial release of Fistful of Frags was on ModDB back in 2007. You know, 2007, the year when the orange box was new, when we all said the cake was a lie, and the year where we all waited eagerly to see what would happen after Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
What's gonna happen in the next one?
Eli, there's not a next one. They didn't make a next one.
I mean, at least Half-Life Alyx exists now, but come on, Valve. That kid probably has a mortgage now.
But I'm getting distracted again. Fistful of Frags came out in pretty much a golden age of modding for Half-Life 2. The orange box was an injection of inspiration, and all sorts of people were releasing their takes on what a mod could be. Single player mods, multiplayer mods, scary mods, funny mods. It was an exciting time, and Fistful of Frags was one of those mods that stood head and shoulders above the others as a completely unique gem. But here's the thing, mods can be a little bit tricky to build player bases for. Over time, things die, especially when installing source mods isn't quite the common knowledge it used to be. So, new avenues have to be sought. Fast forward to the relaunch of the game in 2014 on Steam as a standalone release, with YouTubers such as Total Biscuit, GG Man Lives, and Germa each putting out their own content on the game.
This was it. This was the boost the game needed, and the community flourished for it.
It wasn't until a little bit later that I actually sat down and tried it. I'm not sure when exactly, but it soon became a popular choice among my friend group. So let's delve in there. How did it become a popular choice for us? Even outranking TF2 sometimes for the breadth of people wanting to try it. I think a big thing for myself and friends is the accessibility of Fistful of Frags, on several levels. For one thing, being a free game on Steam is a huge deal. That means you can just log on to Steam and download the game.
No questions asked, you have the game now. Maybe you should run along and get it as well.
I'm sure at least some of you have run into that situation before where your friends start playing a game that you just don't have. It's rough, but with something like this, there's very little excuse. It also helps that this game is on the Source engine, which is pretty old now, but as old as it is, It's a dependable workhorse. It'll work pretty well on most modern machines, so that's not an excuse either. Even the file size is notably compact. My PC reads it as being under 5 gigabytes, which isn't too bad for a game these days.
Oh boy, I sure do love the modern trend of downloading 100 GB games. It's great.
All in all, this game is easy to get, easy to run, and free on Steam, which means nobody is left out. It's a totally perfect party game.
So let's get this party started and actually talk about the game itself. But first, someone needs to pass the whiskey.
Pass the whiskey.
Thank you.
Let's get started with the basics. What's the average match like and how does the game actually work? The general Fistful of Frags match is a shootout, which is usually a free-for-all deathmatch. Though there are team options available as well, which I never really play.
I mean, what's the point of having friends if you can't shoot them in the back every once in a while?
When entering a game, you'll be met with this screen, a loadout, with all sorts of guns and kit in differing tiers. We'll get to that in a bit, but just know that there's a lot, and there's very likely something that'll suit your playstyle as well. You can dual wield pistols, throw dynamite, even go full melee. I know some people who only play that way. It's a nightmare. Take for instance our good friend Cat17, aka... Thank you. Please don't kill me, Cat. Please. Oh god, he's chasing me. I know he is. No. God, please. There are also chests scattered through each map that you can buy weapons from. The chests come in 3 tiers: blue, red, and gold. The gold chest has some expensive weapons, but they're damn handy. My personal favourite? The sniper rifle. But the machete is really good too, and you can find that thing in a mid-tier red chest. It's fast, it's deadly, and it honestly scares me how powerful this thing is.
If you see a guy with a machete, be afraid. Be very afraid.
So sure, you can buy weapons from the chests, but you may be curious as to how you actually get the money. Well, quite simply, you kill. Or you can pickpocket, but most of it comes from murder. But the game encourages a little bit more variety with the notoriety system. You'll do much better if you keep your murders varied, not just using the most powerful guns available. I mean, sure, you can fall back on your old reliables, but you might not climb the ladder as quickly. There are other factors to consider as well, such as knocking people's hats off, using environmental kills, or even getting longer kill streaks. All of these boost your notoriety and help you win the round. So style and variety are really valued here. Risky and creative methods of dispatching enemies are a must if you're in it to win it. You have to decide when to set foot out of your comfort zone and try something new. Hell, sometimes the map might influence which weapon you want to use, or give you a tool to help you out. Some maps have more narrow tunnels in them, so close quarters weapons are favoured, whereas other maps have more open areas, so you'll do well to use a rifle or revolver. It's all about playing to your own strengths and the environment around you here. The maps themselves are nicely varied. For an Old West game, you cover quite a few bases, it's not just deserts. Some of these maps even have environmental hazards as well, such as moving trains or deadly ledges to push people off of. And these are very fun to play with.
See ya.
I think the map that I've played most is called Depot, which used to run 24/7 on a server I had favourited. This map is decently sized for a large party of players and has a train running down the middle, as well as a church with a tower to snipe from, and a saloon full of whiskey.
Oh my god, and I haven't even really talked about the whiskey. The whiskey, lads.
If you've heard anything from this game, it might just be this one voice line. I even referenced it earlier in this video.
Pass the whiskey.
Thank you.
This isn't just an offhand line, there is actual whiskey in this game. It's a key item, and it's how you heal yourself. There's no med packs or auto healing here. Just chug some whiskey and hope your aim doesn't wobble too much before you get ambushed by someone else. It's that kind of a game.
I can't understate the genius of making healing just a little bit risky. It's risky whiskey.
You might really need the health, but in that moment you really have to weigh up whether it's worth a hit to your vision and accuracy. There's just so much strategy to each encounter, and that aspect of the game really surprised me. It has a neat learning curve to it. You might really be shocked to hear that this silly cowboy shooty game has a surprising amount of depth to it. So the mechanics of Fistful of Frags are a little bit different. You can't just run and gun. This isn't Quake. Yes, most of what you'll be doing is the standard deathmatch fare, but it mixes in an element of precision as well. Sometimes you might have to slow down a bit to use your guns effectively, and some guns are more accurate than others. In some ways, the shooting is closer to Counter-Strike in that way, and each gun behaves slightly differently. Not to mention, there are multiple ways of even using your guns. Holding down right-click allows you to fan the hammer or quickfire. This allows you to trade your accuracy for firing speed. Sometimes you need to kill someone up in your face and fast. this is the ideal time to use that particular method. Conversely, holding shift sacrifices movement speed for accuracy. For targets further away, this is essential. Hip firing might not have the accuracy you need, and quick firing almost certainly won't. Something that sets Fistful of Frags aside though is the hand system. You can use both hands on the fly to shoot, and the loadout allows you to choose between left, right and ambidextrous styles, depending on how you want to play. Obviously, not sticking to the style you've chosen to play lowers your accuracy a bit as well. It's a pretty neat and unique feature, I've seen nothing like it before.
This isn't even going into the breadth of playstyles you can get into with the inventory options. You can be really cheeky with it if you want to.
Brass knuckles allow you to disarm an opponent, for example. Then you can kick them and steal their gun. Ah, just Fistful of Frags things.
I'm only really scratching the surface here as well, there's so much.
All of the mechanics and items coalesce in a brilliant way as you learn more, and figure out how to use all your tools to handle each situation. Trust me, mastering your arsenal and knowing how to use each little bit of it is immensely satisfying once you get it down. Just learning to utilize the kicks or disarm opponents or some combination of everything just makes this game so much fun. But let's take things down a notch. What are the downsides? Surely it's not all guns and roses, there's gotta be some sour whiskey here too, right?
Well, yes and no.
It's clear that this game isn't for everyone. The pace of it is unique to itself and requires you to slow down a bit. And I've played with people who just haven't had fun with it because that doesn't suit how they want to play games. There are also a few issues where kicking feels a little bit weird, but these are drops in the water, and my only real complaints, if you can call them that. Your experience with this game may be different, but I adore it. The minor frustrations don't detract from the overall experience. I mean, heck, this game can have you picking up a barrel and kicking it at someone, to jumping around with a bow and arrow. It's a blast. Yeah. There are also optional single-player tutorials and challenges that can help you understand the mechanics a bit better, and also cooperative objective-based game modes, which I've honestly not tried myself.
On the whole, please play Fistful of Frags. It's really good, and it's totally worth your time. If only there was a way I could play this with you guys as well. Wait, I could actually do that.
You heard me right. Not long after this video goes up, I'll be streaming Fistful of Frags over on my Twitch. And the best part is, you'll be able to join me. I've already given you the lowdown on how the game works. I've told you it's free and on Steam. And I'll try and give you a little bit of time after this video goes up and before the stream starts. But either way, you're invited. So join my Discord server and you'll be able to get the server IP and password to play the game with us and hang out. It'll be fun. And if you're watching this video later on, I'll link the VOD once that goes up on my archive channel, which you can find here.
Be there at 6:30 PM GMT and let's pass some whiskey.